Hello, good day. Okay, welcome to this training section. I'll be taking you on a series about how to integrate using MuleSoft, the MuleSoft tool. This is actually going to be a very exciting and a very session because we'll be exploring the tool itself and also the concept of integration, looking at process integration and process orchestration, which is one of like these are the key strengths of the MuleSoft products. So we are going to be taking a very unique approach to this training. We'll be taking it in form of a series, and later on I'll be talking how to actually gain value from this course. How is the course structured? So these are things that we'll be looking at in this particular this first series. How to actually benefit from this course. So this is a quick introduction. This is the pilot episode. We are just looking at the introduction, what's happening in the world of integration and also orchestration, which is the main focus of this tool. And later on, we'll be talking on what are the prerequisites for this to actually follow this course. Then how is the course structured? And for us, it's very key on to know how can we best derive value from this course. What because after talking about the way the course is structured, there's actually an optimal way to understand to follow the course, and that's what we'll be talking about in the course. Then later on, we'll be talking about training plan. What are the various subjects we'll be covering in this in this in the training so far, and it's going to be an exciting journey altogether. So, like I said, we are looking at the MuleSoft product, which is called the Mule, the Mule ESB. And also, I'll just differentiate it at later on. What is Anypoint platform? So, the MuleSoft is just an integration and orchestration tool which allows business applications to exchange data optimally. So when I mean this, it means it enables developers, architects to be able to um, connects different APIs in a central point. So because today we hear about the word microservices a lot, um, but and it's changing the way applications are developed, applications are built. This is the trend in development because nobody goes and build like a very robust application anymore. Over the past few years, you have seen people deploying large organizations deploying the best tools from different products. So we can see a company using success factors from SAP, using logistics from Oracle, using Salesforce, the Salesforce tool. So all of them, we need to make them to be able to talk together, and that's where we can use a good tool such as a good integration and orchestration tool such as the Mule ESB. There are also so many other tools out there in the market, which we have like the Dell Boomi, and also we have the SAP CPI. These are also excellent tools. In one of the courses, I actually talk about the differences between these three because actually these are some of the major players. They are actually quite a large number of offerings out there, but I just focused on what are actually the differences, the pros and cons of the Mule ESB, Dell Boomi, and SAP CPI. So, what is actually the Mule ESB? So, it's actually a platform that helps us to actually orchestrate, to integrate different solutions together. So, in a central place, you can actually talk to an FTP location. I mean, an FTP server. You can actually talk to a database. You can talk to the database could be Oracle database, it could be Microsoft database, it could be SQL. It's We have a wide range of options, I guess, and so that's what I mean by the wide range of connections, and it's so beautiful because you're not you're not necessarily focused on the technology at this point in time. You're not necessarily focused on the technology, but you're just looking at how do they communicate effectively. So this application sits in the middle and tries to ensure that okay, you're communicating effectively. You're able to reach applications, different applications, be it a database, be it a file, because also that's something we'll be looking at in this course. A flat file, or you're picking up a flat file or converting to an Excel. These are things we'll be looking at during this course. Then any studio platform is just the tool we use to design. um, in the Mule ESB. So it's actually along the course we'll see how to download and install it on our system. It's quite easy to set up in less than 10 minutes. You can have it running on your system. You just download it and have it running on your system. Then also at the moment there's actually a cloud studio, but it's actually the beta phase. Um, Most organizations are not using this tool yet. They still rely on the, the desktop version. They download, and afterwards the application is deployed into the cloud. So this is actually for orchestration purposes. So this is actually a very nice tool, and we'll be exploring more about it. So next up, we're talking about our approach to training to be able to understand how is the course structured. How is the course structured? So basically, for us, one of the key factors is to be able to ensure that you are every student is really exposed. And because most times when we see um, job vacancies, you're not just being limited to MuleSoft. Most organizations want, okay, you have experience across multiple integration tools, because even though you're integrating with a vendor, the vendor most likely might not be using the same integration tool as your organization. So it's just better to be able to understand when he's talking about his integration process. So that's why after this series in MuleSoft, we are actually also having a series also in Dell Boomi and SAP CPI. These are we are just, and we'll be using the same business scenario, so you can actually follow it step by step and actually get good value from it. Um, so we'll be looking at a very rich business scenario, which we'll be explaining later on in one of the courses. And for this course, we'll be looking at we'll be integrating different scenarios. So it's not limited to just integrating a 1 hour tutorial. That's okay. We just want to integrate a web service to the database. No, this training is way more than that. We are looking at web service. So how do we design REST services? How do we design sub services? How do we read JSON? How do we read XML? These are things we'll be actually we'll be able to understand. Then also we'll be looking at when we actually doing our get services. How do we construct query parameters? These are things we'll be looking at. Also, we'll be looking at connection to database. We're connecting to FTP servers. Also, we'll be trying to pick files from our system, or like drop files to our system. Then also, one other thing that I've seen in most requirements these days is the messaging services, because of IoT. Like they want to be able to publish to queues, or they want to be able to publish queues and topics to IoT devices. So sometimes, like in the business case, we'll be looking at sometimes it could be like cars, it could be equipments in the office. So these most times they don't use some of these devices. They rely on messaging services, like some of the common messaging services out there. We have the Mosquito. We also have active MQ. These are actually amazing messaging services. We'll be seeing how to actually work with them, and also be exploring system adapters such as SAP, Salesforce, and also later on we'll be looking at service now. As we roll down in the course, we'll be exploring further integration platforms such as the Microsoft CRM. So for this to make this training actually more effective, we actually chose a business scenario that will be actually working on through the life cycle, or through the life cycle of this course. So we are actually working. So the business organization we'll be actually looking at is the postal services. This is similar to what we have in the UPS in the US, the Dutch Post in Germany, La Poste in France, Indian Post in India, and South African Post Office in South Africa. So the name might be different in where you are in the world, but I just use this to be able to help you understand the fictional clients you're actually working for during this course. So it's because when we are integrating, we'll have a storyline. This enables you. even though if being a junior developer or being a senior developer, how to be able to make sense of business requirements. This is going it's going to be is we are not just like focused on just connecting between database, but also making sense from business requirements, understanding the user stories, and actually converting it to actually technical requirements. Then also one of the key highlights of this training is the fact that we are not just necessarily focused on integrating from um, the Anypoint platform. Okay, that's they sent us an API from Salesforce or SAP. At different points in time, we'll see, okay, how do we design this APIs in SAP? How do we design these APIs in Salesforce? How do we design web service using PHP or Java? How do we design an FTP server? So simple things. We'll just be looking at. We'll be exploring very simple scenarios like how to set up an FTP server using Amazon Light Sail. Also, we'll be looking at we'll be using a database and also on Amazon, and we'll be connecting it using an SQL workbench. And the interesting thing for us is right from your day one, you start developing. So you don't have to wait for a long period of time before you get your hands become you can actually become confident or or actually answer questions for your interview. Right from day one, you actually have content to actually go for an interview and also be able to respond to questions in your organizations. So, what is the prerequisites for this course? So, like, if you can understand the word null, I think you're in the right place. So, basically, we are using a very minimalistic approach. We are taking from we'll be because of what we'll be doing is after each course, after each series, we'll be actually taking we'll be looking at key terminologies. So it helps you understand. It helps you understand. It helps you prepare for your interview. It also helps you prepare for your certifications. So basically, I think what is really needed to be able to follow through this program is just the passion. So I think you should join me on this course, and I think it's going to be a very exciting one. On the last slide before I just finished this pilot episode is how do you make the best out of this course. So basically, the course is designed as a series. So I think you should follow it serially. So like it's numbered. Follow it serially. Don't try to skip ahead, or you can skip ahead. There's some if you're there's some points you already know, you can skip ahead. But it's designed as a series, and to be able to make good sense out of it. Then also practice along. Practice along. Then also, I think the good thing is get familiar with the technology. At the end of each maths course, there will be some terminologies. Then also, I think it's also important to watch what we call the extension courses. So basically, like to be able to manage because this course is actually focused on MuleSoft and the Mule ESB. We actually designed a what we call extensions. So how actually API is developed in SAP, it's actually taught in the course, but it's actually is actually in an extension. Also, how is an API developed in Salesforce? It's taught in the course. It exists in the course, but it's just in an extension. How our API is developed in PHP? It's in a course, but it's an extension. So you'll be able to make good use of it. So just try to also watch the extension because you might also be a developer working on the other end trying to build APIs that will be talking to you more ASB. Then also join the community, provide feedbacks in the forum, ask questions. I think we have a good number of people that are willing to answer your questions. Also, I'm here to actually answer your questions and give you feedback. If you're having challenges with your installation or your setup, just put a comment and we'll respond to you quickly. So this is the end of the first course. I hope to see you in the second one. Thank you.